The universe is a sea of stars and myriad civilizations, each carrying its own struggles, conflicts, and dreams. Among them, there was one who stood out, whose wisdom echoed not just on distant worlds but across dimensions themselves. This is the galactic tale of Solomon, the king chosen to judge and unite the warring factions of the cosmos. Born amidst the dazzling royal spires of the golden planet Hyros, Solomon did not inherit his father's great armies or his victories in battle. What he inherited was something far more valuable, a connection to the divine presence of the cosmic creator. In the beginning of his reign, Solomon refused the treasures, armies, and control over hyperspace lanes that his advisors offered him. Instead, he sought wisdom to guide his people towards unity and peace in a galaxy burdened with divisions. It all began with the Splinter War. Two powerful alien factions, the Zephyrans from the Mistfields Nebula and the Drachthani from the Void Star Quadrant, vied for control over the rare Lumicron crystals, sources of immense energy capable of fueling entire civilizations. Their war rippled through galaxies, creating rifts not just in the star lines, but in the hearts of countless colonies and species that depended on the precious Lumicron trade to survive. Delegates from both factions turned to Solomon, whose reputation for fairness and wisdom had already started to spread across the Galactic quadrant. They met aboard the Celestial Concordium, a neutral space station orbiting a dying blue giant, its azure light dimming with every passing moment of strife and discord. Zephyran emissaries blamed the Drachthani's industrial greed, while the Drachthani ambassadors accused the Zephyrons of hoarding resources in defiance of interstellar treaties. Acrimony filled the station's halls, and even the mediators despaired of gaining any resolution. That's when Solomon revealed the wisdom he had prayed so fervently for. His voice rang through the council hall as he addressed the fractious factions. "Cut the Lumicron crystals in half," he declared, his tone steady, unyielding. Gasps echoed as both the Drachthani and Zephyrons stared in disbelief. How would the shards of a resource so vital aid anyone's survival? The Zephyran Prime Chancellor rose and argued passionately. Better the crystals stay hoarded than reduced to shimmering debris. At the same time, a Drachthani minister stood and said, "Half is better than nothing. Let us do as Solomon decrees if it will preserve the remnant access to the crystals." It was then that Solomon smiled faintly. "Now I see clearly who among you values peace and wholeness over dominance and greed," he proclaimed. He proposed an unprecedented treaty where the Lumicron zones would become neutral territories. Technology to mine and refine these crystals would belong not to one, but to a council formed between their kind. The wealth generated would flow into the outer colonies desperate for energy, healing the rifts caused by war. His decision established the Luminous Compact, a union formed not by conquest but by willing collaboration. But Solomon's story does not end with treaties and negotiations. His wisdom became a light to many across the stars. He launched what came to be known as the Wisdom Pulsar, a galactic beacon transmitting teachings on diplomacy, justice, and compassion to ships and planets too distant for personal intervention. And through that golden age of reconciliation, the name Solomon became synonymous with divine grace overseeing the affairs of all living things. Even now, millennia later, the light of the Wisdom Pulsar shines faintly but steadily in the spaceways. Many believe that when galactic peace falters and ambitions rise unchecked, the radiance of Solomon's wisdom will return to guide the cosmos once again. For his teachings were not just rules, they were gifts from the star dweller above, showing every sentient creature that unity lies not in victory, but in virtuous coexistence. So the next time you gaze at the stars and wonder about the tales they hold, remember that among them shines the legacy of a king who sought not power, but wisdom. A legacy still calling for peace among the stars.